Her comments followed the resignation of Deputy Mayor of Mandeville Irvin Facey after allegations that a payment for work in the parish was disbursed before the voucher was approved.
I want to use the opportunity to categorically say that I am in no way involved in any of the activities that we have heard in recent times in the news.
Dr. Bromberg is calling on individuals who believe they have evidence to implicate her in the scandal to come forward.
If there's anyone with any information about Angela Bromberg being involved, take it to the police. They are the ones who will be able to sift through whatever anyone has there to come to the truth. My position is constant and remains as it has been.
Dr. Bromberg says much has been done to make local government what it is today, and she has no intention to bring that work into disrepute.
In local government, we have worked too hard to rescue the image, the name, the reputation of local government, to build back public confidence in local government for me to be involved in anything like that. I have not been, and my name cannot be credibly called before, no, nor in the future.
She says acts like corruption should be denounced.
All well-thinking Jamaicans should be on the side of the right thing to do. And we have been seeing just how much corruption and anything like that, how much it diverts the money away from the public purse and how it affects the work that, in this case, the parish council would have to do.
The Member of Parliament is hoping for a conclusive investigation.
I want to support the work of the Manchester Parish Council and statement put out by the officers of the People's National Party, which is that the police, the authorities that are in there, for them to do what they have to do in terms of the investigation as swiftly as possible so that they can come to some kind of conclusion to end any speculation about exactly what has happened.
McCoy Wilson, CVM Live.
Deplorable road conditions in the community of Golden Springs, St. Andrew, prompted a protest from its residents who were seeking assistance from the Prime Minister after they say efforts to engage their political representative proved futile.
There was a heartfelt plea by a handful of Golden Spring residents who descended from their hill to complain about the state of the roadways that crisscross their community.
We are here to appeal especially to the Honourable Prime Minister and specifically to our Member of Parliament, Mrs. Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn. The problem is, and our representative knows, that the road to community development begins with the development of community roads. The roads have been bad for well in excess of 30 years.
Some 4 years ago, residents spent over $700,000 of their own funds to effect remedial work to the major roads. And today they still make efforts to provide relief to those that traverse the roadways.
Right now, if you attend Golden Spring, you will see people filling in huge craters with stones. It is as though they are packing a septic pit. When Mrs. Cuthbert-Flynn came to the constituency, she knew. It's not a matter that she wasn't aware. Several audits informed her of the conditions, most of which were infrastructure problems and roads. So she knew what she was taking on. Why isn't she delivering?
Mr. Simon admits that their political representative isn't the only individual that they have approached for assistance.
We have made all the possible representation to our Member of Parliament. We have been to our community council meetings at the Stony Hill Heart Academy in Stony Hill, to no avail. We have been to the KCC. We have demonstrated at the KCC, and Mr. Robert Hill invited us to listen to our plight. Nothing has been done by the KCC. Mr. E.G. Hunter at the National Works Agency has committed equipment to repair the roads. We haven't seen any making good on that commitment.
Joel Crosskill, CVM Live.
Well, CVM Live made contact with MP for the constituency, Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, who declined to comment. She told a reporter she is not willing to make a statement until discussions with the parish council regarding their stewardship of the parochial roads has taken place. And in a CVM Live update, workers at the Accountant General's Department in downtown Kingston returned to work today despite challenges with the building that they say pose an immediate health risk. Here's Nicoy Wilson, and he spoke with the president of the Jamaica Civil Service Association, O'Neill Grant.
Deep cleaning of computers and furniture at the Accountant General's Department AGD was undertaken over the weekend. But this does not solve the underlying problem. As president of the Jamaica Civil Service Association, O'Neill Grant points out, the problem goes beyond dust and mold.
There are instances where foul odor is within the premises, and it builds up over a period of time and then comes out into the atmosphere in the building. So there seems to be significant challenges at the location, and while the staff continues to do their work and are professional, from time to time they still go outside and take what they refer to as these oxygen breaks to come out of the environment that's causing them to feel discomfort.
On his visit of the site on Monday, employees continued to lodge complaints.
There continues to remain, though, some challenges in terms of the storage of those pieces of furniture that are deemed to have mold on them, and that they still are in a space within the premises. Some staff members were still complaining of itching skin, not breathing properly. They were advised that they should go to their medical practitioners to get some certification from them that they are in fact experiencing these, and to tender these results to the Accountant General's Department for follow-up by the department.
Grant is urging employees to get certification from their doctors about what they are experiencing and to tender same to the AGD so that it can be followed up. He says the Finance Minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, has promised that he will personally ensure that the matters at the building are rectified. The Finance Minister on Friday said he would convene a meeting with employees at the AGD, but repeated calls to him and the department to confirm if the meeting took place went unanswered. Last week, employees of the AGD congregated outside the building, protesting problems with the structure that they believe pose an immediate health risk. Nicoy Wilson, CVM Live.
Meanwhile, investigations are still ongoing into the brutal murder of Clarendon businessman John Brandon Murray at the Mayfair Hotel on West Kings House Road on Sunday. The police say they are pursuing several leads. CVM Live's Khadija Thomas spoke with the crime officer for the St. Andrew Central Police and has this report.
Speculation is rife that Murray's murder was a contract killing. The police, while not confirming the speculation, say they are not ruling out the possibility based on information received. Officer in charge of operations for the St. Andrew Central Division, DSP Winston Hunt, told the CVM Live that the police are now approaching the matter with an open mind after receiving reports that John Murray was working on some plan in another parish.
From some information I received, he's working at a project at Mount Pleasant in St. Andrew Football Academy. So we'll be speaking to them to see if there's any information or anything they know that can assist us, with a possibility of making a breakthrough in this matter.
DSP Hunt says Murray, who resides in Clarendon, was killed when the white Toyota Probox had driven onto the Mayfair Hotel that afternoon. Soon after, Murray received a phone call and left his room.
He came out along the roadway there. They were pounced upon by the two men who opened fire at him, hitting him several times. The men ran from the property, and we are assuming that they rejoined the car somewhere along West Kings House Close.
DSP Hunt says the police are yet to identify the suspects, along with the registration of the Toyota Probox they were driving.
The registration, make, letter, and numbers of the car was not available up to this time. We are trying our best to ascertain those. The motive has not been established. We are going over every bit of information we get. We have a number of investigators assigned to explore all the information we have got so far.
Khadija Thomas for CVM Live.
Well, in a CVM Live follow-up, the Education Ministry has responded to the matter involving a teacher who was questioning how the ministry would recover funds after she received a letter stating that she had been overpaid over a 6-year period. Just last week, CVM Live had brought the matter to your attention involving the primary school teacher who had received a letter from the Education Ministry stating that they will be recovering funds from her salary due to an overpayment of over $160,000 between June of this year to March 2019. CVM Live spoke with the Public Relations and Communications Officer for the Education Ministry, who advised their news team that the ministry will be intervening into the matter to assist the teacher. They say the issue concerning the overpayment is unfortunate, and they will be in contact with the teacher in ensuring that a favorable turnaround can be made. Some 40 jobs will be created as a result of a contract signed today between the Port Authority and Canadian Maritime Services Company Ocean. The 10-year agreement will be geared towards harbour towage services between both entities and will be in full service at the end of this month. Here's CVM Live's Khadija Thomas again with the details.
The Port Authority of Jamaica has now welcomed new business to its shores with the 10-year agreement with Maritime Company Ocean, set to create employment with the opening of a local office in Kingston.
Our intentions are to recruit local Jamaican seafarers, and once recruited and trained to operate these new machines, we will offer competitive wages and introduce them to Ocean's occupational, health and safety processes.
The Vice President of Ocean Business Development, Kevin Nicol, says the partnership with Jamaica will ensure that operations are conducted safely and efficiently. The agreement between the Port Authority of Jamaica and Ocean will meet the growing demand for harbour towing services through what has been described as state-of-the-art equipment and personnel who will be deployed. President of the Port Authority of Jamaica, Professor Gordon Shirley, says the joint venture is a major milestone set to contribute to development in the island.
We fully expect that with the 3 new tugs that they will be bringing from their fleet to Kingston, each capable of at least 70 tons bollard pull, that we will have no challenge in handling the very large vessels that now transit the Panama Canal and into our region.
Professor Shirley says the process was long and transparent, but Ocean was selected based on government guidelines for procurement. He says the maritime company will also provide dredging and rental of specialized equipment.
Ocean has signaled that they intend to expand their operations in Jamaica beyond this starting point. And in this regard, Ocean, I would point out to you, in Canada, offers, in addition to their harbour towage services, they do ship repair services and shipbuilding services. 2
of the tugboats are already being shipped to Jamaica by Ocean, which operates primarily in 4 Canadian provinces and now in Jamaica. Khadija Thomas for CVM Live.
Time now for regional and international news.
News in Barbados. The Barbados government on Monday says it is prepared to implement tough decisions to revitalize an ailing economy. This as they announced a series of new tax measures as part of new fiscal policies. Presenting her administration's first financial statement and budgetary proposals for 2018, Prime Minister Mia Mottley says that the new taxes underscored her government's desire to distribute the country's burden while protecting the vulnerable. Meanwhile, on the international scene, it is less than 24 hours until the historic summit in Singapore between the United States and North Korean leaders. The world will be watching to see if U.S. President Donald Trump can broker a deal to denuclearize the Korean peninsula. Delegations from both sides have been making final preparations before the meeting. Here's more from Al Jazeera.
In the final hours before the Singapore summit, President Trump was on the move. His motorcade heading to the official office of Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong. But the president was not in a talkative mood. The Prime Minister is the host for Tuesday's unprecedented meeting, and so also has a lot at stake. North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un, who met the Premier on Sunday, says he knows the whole world is watching him. And so too are his people. The country's strictly managed media was quick to release pictures of Kim's arrival, reporting that his isolated country would discuss establishing a new relationship with the United States. That's significant. In some parts of Singapore, the security is high profile, but appeared to be absent in one of the places where it would have mattered. US and North Korean officials were jostled by the media as they left a hotel where they'd been finalizing details for Tuesday. Trump wants to persuade the North Korean leader to disarm, a deal that eluded his predecessors.
It is threatening.
But that's a process that will eventually have to involve others, says the leader of the campaign to abolish nuclear weapons.
This could be a historic meeting and a beginning of a process towards nuclear disarmament. And so it's definitely has a huge possibility. I think that's why it's so important that we don't just leave it up to these two men.
Watching from afar and wishing they were here, the leaders of 3 other countries with important stakes in this summit. South Korea's President Moon Jae-in, Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, and President Xi Jinping of China. China, of course, the North's closest ally. And whatever happens here, Xi Jinping will be hoping it remains that way.
That's it for regional and international news. I am Nicole Wilson. Pleasant viewing.
Well, those were our major stories for this evening. More news later in the program, News Live in 5 with Joel Croskill. But straight ahead is our panel discussion. A historic presentation by Prime Minister Andrew Holness at the just concluded G7 summit in Canada. But what does all this mean for Jamaica? Robert Morgan, Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, and Dennis Chung, financial expert, social and political commentator. They'll both join us on our panel discussion right after this break.